Somewhere in your closet right now, there's a plain, ordinary t-shirt that you've probably worn 100 times without giving it much thought. But here's something most women never realize: the exact same t-shirt, styled two different ways, can either make you look like you just rolled out of bed, or make you look like you spent an hour getting ready, and the difference has nothing to do with buying anything new. Today I'm walking you through 10 small styling secrets that transform the most basic, inexpensive piece in your entire wardrobe, and by secret number 6, you're going to want to run to your closet and try it on the plain tee you're probably already wearing right now. And stay until the very end, because secret number 10 is the one detail stylists use constantly that almost nobody outside the industry actually knows about. Plus I've got one bonus secret waiting for you after that, one that ties this entire list together. Hey there, and welcome back to Ageless Style Secrets, the channel dedicated to helping women over 60 look polished, current, and completely confident, without needing an expensive wardrobe or a personal stylist on call. If you're new here, welcome. I'm genuinely glad you found this video, because today's topic proves something I truly believe, that looking put together has almost nothing to do with how much you spend, and everything to do with knowing these small, simple details. This channel exists because I believe every woman deserves to feel confident in her clothes, regardless of her budget, her body shape, or how much time she has to get ready in the morning. And if you're already part of this community, welcome back. Get comfortable, because this list is going to completely change how you think about the humble t-shirt. Before we dive in, if this is your first time here, please subscribe before we continue. This channel is built specifically for practical, honest style advice for women exactly like you, and you won't want to miss what we cover next. If you're already finding this valuable, go ahead and tap that like button, and drop a comment letting me know how many plain t-shirts you currently own. I have a feeling the number might surprise even you. Mine certainly did when I actually counted. Alright, let's get into secret number 1, because it's simpler than you'd ever expect. Secret 1. The front tuck is not the same as the French tuck. We've talked about the French tuck before on this channel, but there's a specific variation worth clarifying, because they genuinely create different effects, and using the wrong one for your specific tee can actually work against you rather than for you. A full front tuck, tucking the entire front hem into your waistband in one straight line, creates a very clean, defined edge, almost like a tailored, finished look, similar to how a fitted blouse might sit when properly tucked. A French tuck, tucking just a small section near the center front, leaves soft fabric folds on either side, giving a more relaxed, effortless impression that feels a bit more casual and lived in. For t-shirts specifically, the French tuck tends to work best with fitted or slightly fitted tees, since there's less bulk to bunch up at that one small tuck section. If you're wearing a slightly looser, more relaxed fit tee, a full front tuck actually creates a cleaner overall line, since the softer fabric of a relaxed tee doesn't hold the French tuck's folded shape as neatly. It tends to look messy rather than intentional, almost like it wasn't tucked on purpose at all. There's also a third option worth knowing: the side tuck, where you tuck just a small section at one hip rather than the center front. This works beautifully with asymmetrical bottoms, or when you want just a hint of waist definition without the more obvious front tuck effect. Knowing which tuck matches which fit is honestly one of those tiny details that changes an entire outfit's polish level in seconds, and it costs absolutely nothing to try right now with whatever you're already wearing. Secret 2. The sleeve roll changes the entire silhouette. Here's something almost nobody thinks about: the sleeve. A plain t-shirt sleeve, left completely as is, tends to just hang there without adding much shape or interest to the overall look. But a simple single roll, folding the sleeve hem up just once, creates a small defined cuff that instantly adds a tailored, intentional element to even the most basic tee. This works because it draws a clean horizontal line right at the upper arm, breaking up what would otherwise be one long, uninterrupted stretch of fabric from shoulder to elbow. It's a 5-second adjustment, but it reads as considerably more polished, almost like the shirt was made with that detail built in from the start, rather than being a plain basic tee at all. This trick works especially well on slightly warmer days too, giving a small breath of airflow at the arm, while still looking completely intentional, rather than simply pushed up out of necessity. For a slightly different effect, try a small double roll instead of a single fold, creating a slightly thicker cuff. This variation works particularly well with heavier, more substantial cotton tees that hold a crisper roll shape. Secret 3. Layering with a longer camisole underneath. This next trick solves a problem so many women deal with constantly: a slightly sheer or thin t-shirt that clings or shows more than you'd like underneath. Instead of avoiding lighter, softer t-shirt fabrics altogether, which are often the most comfortable and flattering in terms of drape, try layering a long, fitted camisole underneath in a color that closely matches the t-shirt itself. This does two things at once. It solves the sheerness concern completely, and it also adds a subtle, smoothing base layer that helps the t-shirt fabric drape more cleanly over the body, rather than clinging directly to skin. Choosing a camisole in the same or very similar tone as the tee keeps this layer completely invisible, so from the outside it simply looks like one clean, effortless outfit, when in reality there's a smart little layering trick working behind the scenes. This is also a wonderful trick for extending the wear of thinner tees into cooler months, since that extra layer adds a small bit of warmth without changing the outfit's overall appearance at all. A seamless, longer-length camisole works best here, since it won't create a visible line under the t-shirt fabric the way a shorter or seamed cami sometimes can. Secret 4. The neckline cut matters more than the color. We talked about neckline and face shape with blouses in a previous video, and the exact same principle applies here with t-shirts. A crew neck, sitting high and tight around the neck, can sometimes shorten the visual length of the neck, especially paired with a rounder face shape. A V-neck or a slightly scooped neckline creates length and openness instead, drawing the eye upward toward the face rather than compressing that whole upper area. Here's the twist though, you don't need to give up your favorite crew neck tees entirely. A simple styling fix is layering a longer necklace over a crew neck tee, one that dips down slightly past the collar. This creates that same visual lengthening effect a V-neck would provide naturally, without needing to replace your existing wardrobe of crew neck basics at all. A simple gold or silver pendant necklace, long enough to sit a few inches below the collarbone, works beautifully for this purpose, and it doubles as a lovely finishing touch, even if you weren't specifically trying to lengthen the neckline in the first place. If you're shopping for new tees going forward though, it's worth genuinely prioritizing a V-neck or scoop neck cut when you have the choice, since that neckline is doing quiet, consistent work every single time you wear it, without requiring any additional styling effort at all. Secret 5. Choosing the right length for your bottoms. This one seems obvious once explained, but it's genuinely overlooked constantly. A t-shirt that's slightly too long, hitting well past the hip, tends to visually shorten the legs and can add unwanted bulk around the midsection, especially when worn untucked. A t-shirt that hits right around the high hip or upper hip area instead creates a much cleaner, more proportional silhouette, particularly when paired with higher-waisted bottoms. If you own tees that run a bit longer than you'd like, this is actually the perfect opportunity to use the tucking tricks we talked about in Secret 1, either the French tuck or the full front tuck, both of which effectively shorten that visual length without needing any actual alterations to the garment itself. It's worth taking 2 minutes right now to actually check where your favorite everyday tees hit on your body, since many women are surprised to find they've been wearing the same slightly too long length for years simply out of habit. Stand in front of a full-length mirror, and notice specifically where the hem falls relative to your hip bone. That single observation alone often explains why certain tees have always felt slightly less flattering than others in your closet, even when you couldn't quite put your finger on why. Okay, quick pause here because I want to know which of these first 5 secrets you're most excited to try: the tuck styles, the sleeve roll, the camisole layering trick, the necklace neckline hack, or the length and tucking combination. Drop the number in the comments. I read every single one. And I love seeing which small tricks resonate most with everyone watching. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's a wonderful time, because we share genuinely practical style tips exactly like this every single week, the kind of small adjustments that make a real difference without costing you anything extra. After subscribing, go ahead and tap that like button too. It truly helps this video reach more women who could use these simple tricks in their own closets. Alright, let's keep going because secret number 6 is the one I promised you at the very beginning. Secret 6. The unbuttoned shirt layer. Here it is, the trick I mentioned right at the start, layering an unbuttoned, lightweight shirt completely open over a plain t-shirt. This isn't a new idea exactly, but the specific detail that makes it look intentional rather than accidental is choosing a shirt with some structure to it, a slightly crisp linen or cotton blend, rather than something soft and floppy that just hangs shapelessly. A structured, open shirt layer adds visual interest and a bit of architecture to an otherwise completely plain outfit, almost like a soft blazer alternative, but far more casual and comfortable. It also creates natural vertical lines running down the body when left open, which tends to be a subtly slimming visual effect, all while keeping the actual t-shirt underneath completely simple and unchanged. This combination also happens to be incredibly practical for unpredictable weather, giving you an easy extra layer to remove or add throughout the day without ever needing to change the actual outfit underneath. A soft plaid or gingham shirt worn this way adds gentle pattern and visual interest too, without ever feeling overwhelming or overly busy, since it's simply framing the outfit rather than being the main focus of it. Secret 7. The power of a statement bottom. So much of t-shirt styling advice focuses entirely on the shirt itself, but here's a secret that flips that thinking completely. Sometimes the most transformative change comes from what you pair it with rather than the shirt at all. A plain white or neutral tee, paired with a genuinely interesting bottom, a wide leg trouser in a rich color, a pleated skirt, or even a patterned pair of trousers, instantly elevates the entire outfit, letting the t-shirt act as a simple, quiet backdrop for something more visually interesting happening below. This is actually one of the easiest ways to get significantly more mileage out of the plain tees you already own. Rather than constantly searching for new tops, invest a little more thought into a handful of interesting bottoms, and suddenly every single basic tee in your closet has multiple completely different looks available to it. This is genuinely one of the smartest ways to build a versatile wardrobe on a limited budget, since a handful of well-chosen bottoms can transform the exact same 5 or 6 plain tees into what feels like dozens of entirely different outfits. Think of your t-shirts as a blank canvas rather than the star of the outfit. Once that mental shift happens, shopping for bottoms becomes so much more exciting and intentional. Secret 8. The belt trick that works even without belt loops. Most people assume a belt only works with jeans or trousers that have actual belt loops, but here's a trick that changes that completely. Wearing a thin belt directly over an untucked or slightly tucked t-shirt, sitting right at the natural waistline, completely independent of any belt loops at all. This creates definition and shape exactly where you want it, turning a shapeless, hanging tee into something with a clearly defined waistline. A slim, simple belt works best for this specific trick, something under an inch or so wide, rather than a bulky statement-style belt, which can end up looking heavy or overly deliberate over soft t-shirt fabric. This tiny addition alone can completely transform the silhouette of an oversized or relaxed fit tee, giving it shape and structure in seconds, and it's genuinely one of those tricks that looks far more complicated and intentional than it actually is to execute. A soft, thin leather or woven belt in a neutral tone works particularly well here, since it blends naturally with almost any color tee without competing for attention. Alright, one more quick pause before we finish this list, because these last 2 secrets genuinely might be the most surprising ones we've covered today. If you've tried any of the tricks so far already this week, drop a comment letting me know how it went. I absolutely love hearing these small real-life wins from all of you. And if this video is giving you real value, please take a moment to subscribe if you haven't already. This channel exists specifically to help you get more out of the wardrobe you already own, rather than constantly needing to buy new things. Like this video too, it genuinely helps more women discover these small practical tricks. Okay, let's finish this list with the final 2 secrets, plus that bonus tip I promised at the very beginning. Secret 9. The jacket shoulder trick. Here's a detail that changes how an entire outfit reads from across a room. Wearing a structured blazer or jacket completely open over a t-shirt, but specifically pushing or rolling the sleeves up slightly rather than leaving them at their full straight length. This small adjustment creates a more relaxed, intentional, effortlessly put together feeling, rather than looking like you simply threw a jacket on as an afterthought. The combination of a structured shoulder with a soft, casual t-shirt underneath is honestly one of the most reliable style formulas that exists. It works for almost any occasion, it photographs beautifully, and it takes an incredibly ordinary tee and instantly elevates it into something that looks completely intentional and put together, all without changing a single thing about the t-shirt itself. This particular combination also transitions beautifully between seasons, since the jacket can simply come off entirely once the weather warms, leaving a perfectly complete outfit underneath either way. A single button closure, left open rather than fastened, tends to look more modern and relaxed than buttoning the jacket fully closed over a casual tee. Secret 10. The one detail stylists use that nobody talks about. And finally, the secret I promised you at the very beginning, the one detail almost nobody outside the styling industry actually knows about: ironing or steaming your t-shirts, even the casual everyday ones. Most of us reserve ironing exclusively for blouses or dress shirts, and simply pull t-shirts straight from the dryer or drawer without a second thought. But a lightly steamed or ironed t-shirt, even a completely plain, basic one, reads as dramatically more polished and expensive looking than the exact same shirt left slightly wrinkled. This single detail is genuinely one of the biggest secrets professional stylists rely on constantly for photo shoots and appearances. It's not about the garment itself at all. It's about the crispness and clean lines that ironing creates. A 30-second pass with a handheld steamer over an already worn, completely ordinary t-shirt can make it look almost brand new again. And it's honestly one of the fastest, most impactful style upgrades on this entire list, requiring absolutely no new purchases whatsoever. If you don't already own a handheld steamer, it's genuinely one of the most worthwhile small investments you can make for your entire wardrobe, working just as well on blouses, dresses, and trousers as it does on simple everyday tees. Bonus secret. Fabric weight is the foundation everything else builds on. Here's the bonus tip I mentioned at the very start, and honestly it ties every single secret we've covered together. All of these tricks, the tucks, the rolls, the layering, work significantly better on a t-shirt made from a substantial medium-weight cotton, rather than an extremely thin, cheap fabric. A thin, flimsy tee simply won't hold a crisp tuck or a defined sleeve roll the same way, no matter how carefully you execute the technique, and it tends to cling in places you'd rather it skim instead. When shopping, gently pinch the fabric between your fingers. If you can easily see your fingers through it or it feels almost weightless, it's likely too thin to style with real structure. A tee with just a bit more substance and weight to it, without being thick or stiff, holds its shape throughout the day, drapes more intentionally, and genuinely makes every single one of the 9 other secrets we've covered even more effective. This single fabric detail is honestly the foundation everything else in this video is built on, and it's worth prioritizing the very next time you're shopping for new basics. Closing. So there you have it, 10 small t-shirt styling secrets plus 1 bonus fabric tip, the tuck variations, the sleeve roll, camisole layering, necklace tricks, proper length, the open shirt layer, statement bottoms, the belt trick, the jacket shoulder detail, that simple steaming secret stylists rely on constantly, and finally the fabric weight foundation that makes every other trick work even better. Every single one of these works with the plain t-shirts you already own right now, sitting in your closet this very moment, and none of them require spending a single extra dollar to try. If this video helped you see your own wardrobe a little differently today, that's exactly why we make videos like this every single week. So here's what I'm asking. If you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications, so you never miss a new video the moment it goes live. After that, give this video a thumbs up if you're trying one of these. See you in the next one.